An organized content brief gives you a plan, but it does not give you a controlled drafting process. Many people paste their notes into a new chat, ask Claude to write everything, and hope the result follows the strategy. In this tutorial, we will build a reusable draft writer. It will accept an approved brief, preserve the intended message, mark missing information, and return a first draft for human review. In the first tutorial, the content organizer turned rough notes into a structured brief and stopped for approval. That approved output now becomes the input to the draft writer. Each worker has one job. The organizer decides how the source material should be structured. The draft writer transforms that approved structure into prose. Neither worker publishes anything, and a person remains responsible for every important decision. Create a Claude project named Draft Writer. Use this description. Turns approved content briefs into reviewable first drafts without inventing missing information. This name is intentionally specific. We are not creating a general writing chatbot. We are creating one controlled step in a content system. The project instructions begin with an input contract. Before drafting, the worker must confirm that the brief is approved and contains the audience, central message, supporting points, outline, call to action, source information, and known gaps. It must follow the approved outline, use only supplied information, and mark unresolved details instead of inventing them. Every response must be labeled draft, human review required. For the first test, we use the approved systems over prompts brief from the previous tutorial. It includes the audience, central message, supporting points, approved outline, call to action, source information, and one known gap. There is no case study. The draft writer produces the requested first draft, follows the outline, preserves the practical beginner-friendly message, and does not create a fictional example. Now verify the result. The audience and central message should match the approved brief. The sections should follow the approved outline in order. The final call to action should ask the reader to identify one repeated task that takes too much time. The missing case study should remain visible under source gaps. Finally, the output should be labeled as a draft and end with one focused review question. The second test removes the approval and most of the required brief. We ask the worker to write an article about helping small businesses use AI better, while admitting that the plan has not been reviewed. A reliable draft writer should not fill in the missing strategy. It should stop, explain that an approved brief is required, identify the missing sections, and ask one useful question. This protects the content from unsupported assumptions. You now have two focused workers. The content organizer creates a brief for approval. The draft writer turns that approved brief into a first draft for review. This is more reliable than asking one chatbot to organize, decide, write, and publish in a single prompt. Try the draft writer with one approved brief from your business. In the next tutorial, we will build a human review gate so approval becomes an explicit part of the workflow.